Over my past 10 years as an accountant, I've learned a lot about money, but one consistent theme has always been present in the people I work with who are financially successful, and that's their spending habits. So in this video, I'm going to go over 7 spending habits that are likely holding you back and how to break out of them. I think a lot of these will be surprising to the majority of you, so let's get straight into it with number 1. It's easy to think that doing everything ourselves is the most cost-effective way, but sometimes the opposite is true. Let's dive into why underestimating the benefit of convenience might actually be costing us more in the long run. First, let's talk about the value of time. Renowned psychologists Daniel Kahneman and Alan B. Kruger have extensively researched the subject of well-being, and a key takeaway from their work is time is a non-renewable resource. How we choose to spend it can significantly impact our happiness and, surprisingly, our finances. Imagine this: you spend hours each week doing tasks like cleaning, cooking, lawn maintenance, and it seems cost effective. But what if you use the same amount of time to work on a side hustle, learn a new skill, or even just unwind and improve your mental health? The benefits of convenience aren't just about saving time, they're about optimizing it. This brings us to the concept of opportunity cost. Every hour spent on a task that could be outsourced or simplified is an hour not spent on potentially more productive or rewarding activities. It's not just about the monetary cost, it's about what else you could be doing with that precious time. So what's the takeaway? It's not about spending recklessly on every convenience available. Instead, it's about making smart choices, assess the value of your time and compare it against the cost of the convenience. Sometimes paying a bit more for convenience can actually lead to greater savings and satisfaction in the long run. Maybe paying $10 to get your groceries delivered is worth the hours that you would otherwise spend shopping for yourself, or the $25 takeout option is a smarter financial choice when it frees you up to work an extra 2 hours or prevents you from feeling overloaded and entering a state of task paralysis. Next is credit card debt. This one I shouldn't need to go over for too long, but let me just highlight a few reasons that credit card debt really is the antithesis of financial well-being. Credit card debt is not about the money you owe, it's about the insanely high interest you pay on it. Here's where it gets tricky. Credit card debt compounds, meaning you're not just paying interest on what you initially borrowed, you're also paying interest on the interest that has accrued. This compounding effect can quickly turn a manageable debt into an overwhelming one. This also in turn completely ruins your ability to save, invest, and even meet your daily obligations. As a rule of thumb, do not ever treat a credit card as a pay later vehicle. Use them exclusively as debit cards that you pay off monthly, weekly, or instantly. The sole purpose of owning a credit card should be to take advantage of rewards or build credit, nothing else. Let's talk about putting yourself at a psychological disadvantage. Financial stress isn't just about not having enough money, it's about how this scarcity affects our mental state. Research, such as that done by Eldar Shafir in their book Scarcity, shows that constant financial worry can impair our cognitive functions. This means that when we're stressed out about money, we're less likely to make sound financial decisions. This creates a vicious cycle. Financial stress leads to poor decision making, which in turn leads to more financial difficulties. It can be things like taking out high interest loans, making impulsive purchases, or not planning for the future, all because our stressed brains are focused on immediate relief, not long-term consequences. Breaking free from this cycle is crucial. It starts with acknowledging the stress and its impact on your decisions. From there, focus on building financial literacy, creating a budget, and setting up an emergency fund. These steps can reduce stress and provide a buffer that allows for better decision making. Just start small, tackle one financial issue at a time, and educate yourself about personal finance. There are plenty of resources available online. Remember, the goal is to regain control over your finances and, by extension, your peace of mind. Next is paying yourself first. This is a simple concept, but its impact on your financial future can be immense. Let's explore why this approach is crucial for escaping the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. Paying yourself first means prioritizing saving or investing a portion of your income as soon as you receive it, before covering any other expenses. It's about treating your savings or investment account like a mandatory bill that needs to be paid. This habit ensures you're consistently building your financial safety net and sets a psychological boundary of the net amount of money that you actually have to spend each month. The key to this strategy is consistency. By regularly setting aside a portion of your income and doing so in a completely mindless fashion, you harness the power of compound interest without even trying, turning small consistent savings into a significant nest egg over time. It's not just about the amount, it's about the habit. Paying yourself first is a proactive step towards breaking the paycheck to paycheck cycle. It shifts your focus from immediate gratification to long-term financial goals. So how can you start? Begin by determining a realistic percentage of your income that you can save each month. Even a small amount is a good start. Automate the savings so the money goes directly into your savings account or investment fund. This way you won't be tempted to spend it. There's a fundamental element of personal finance advice going around in the social media space that is being misinterpreted, and that is the perceived utility of frugality to build savings and investments. The theory goes, the more you can live below your means every month, the more you get to invest or save from the excess money you have left after your expenses. Whilst obviously being true, the real magic in building true wealth comes largely from spending, not saving. Look at it this way, if your take-home salary each month was $70,000 and you saved extremely aggressively, you could probably save a solid 5 figures a year. However, without even considering the opportunity cost of living extremely frugally in terms of enjoyment, how would it look if instead of saving, we invested in our earning capacity through courses, education and mentorship, which could very realistically bring us up to a 6-figure salary range. A good analogy to think of here is a field of crops. You can harvest your crops with near 100% efficiency each year, but if you don't expand your field, you're quickly going to be capped out at your maximum crop output. Think of your financial success in the same way. You can pinch pennies to outrageous extents for years to save that extra couple of grand a year, but your total savable cash is likely never going to increase to anything significantly more substantial if you don't eventually choose to instead take some time off savings and invest that money into your ability to generate more cash. Next is brand loyalty without evaluation. Let's dive into a habit that affects our wallets more than we realize, our blind loyalty to certain brands. I've made a conscious effort to keep this list a bit more high impact and avoiding largely immaterial spending habits like buying a $4 coffee, but this one is more impactful than I initially thought. There are a number of papers that analyze consumer behavior relating to brand, and most come to the same conclusion. Sticking to the same brands, especially without evaluating their value, can lead us to spend way more than necessary. The studies found that people who exhibit blind brand loyalty often end up paying a consistent premium without receiving any additional quality or value. Think about it. How often do we pay extra for a brand name item with a less known or store brand could give us the exact same result at a lower price? The impact of this comes largely from the level of frequency which many of these purchases are made, which when extrapolated over a year could provide you with an amount that could really increase your purchasing power elsewhere. It's difficult to give specific advice due to everyone's frequent purchasing being different, but here's a good example to paint a picture of what I'm getting at. The allergy tablet Zyrtec costs around $17.94 per 30 pills. The generic brand, which is the exact same with the exact same active ingredients, costs $10.53 for 45 tablets. Similarly, for 200 Advil tablets, you'll pay $14.97, whereas generic, which again has the same active ingredients, will cost you $3.88 for the same amount. Based on average frequency of purchases over the course of a year, for these two alone, you'll be looking at around a $200 saving per year. It's unbelievably easy and has absolutely no impact on your quality of life. This also does not contradict the previously mentioned frugality paradox because you're quite literally giving nothing up. Our last and maybe most important habit is falling for everyday normalized money traps that crush your budgeting. There's a lot to touch on here that I think will hugely benefit a lot of you, so I've created a dedicated video for this here. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like this video and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.